Do you know what's more important than video and sound? Sound is very important. Well, that is lighting. You need to have good lighting. And if you have a key light like this, sometimes you need, I think it's just insulting, but it's called a hair light. Or we have a nice little filler over here that's not on me quite yet. But with this app, I can bring it up to about 50% here. And we've got some light filling in right there. I also have a light that's on the American flag back there. That is nice. So today we are going to be talking about the Manbily light that is coming from this direction right here. And after using it for quite a while now, I might be making it my main one right there. Oh, look, I've got a friend. Let's get to it. Welcome back, my beautiful, lovely people. I'm so glad to be here with you today. We are going to be talking about the Manbily light right here. Obviously, I have no light coming down on me because I've been using this for the last month and a half, almost 2 months. And I know that they wanted me to do a review earlier, but I really just didn't want to. And the fact is, I didn't want to because I seem to do reviews and then I find issues and I really just wanted to figure it out. And the funny thing is, I decided to go on and see who else made a review on YouTube with this. And it looked like almost everybody had no idea what they were talking about. They did a quick review, read a few things, which I may do, but then they did not know how to figure out the app, which I did in Chinese. This light, even without the app, is pretty phenomenal. So 2 months experience with this. It is not just this arbitrary review that I'm just going to do really quick and then tell you all these stats. I actually had hands-on experience with this. And I will tell you at the end if I recommend it or not. And that will depend on you and your needs. Manbily did send this over to me and asked me if I would be willing to do a review. And I said yes. And I only do reviews on products that I think are relevant to this channel or that I'm interested in. People send me the craziest things and say, can you review this? And I'm like, it has nothing to do with my channel. It's cool, but no, I'm not going to review it. Now, when it comes to video and photography, this thing checks all those boxes, and so does my channel. And if you are new here, yes, video, technology, everything, photography, it's everything. That's what I do here. Let's get over some of the boring stuff. I'm going to bring you over there, show you in a different outfit because I don't do these videos all in one take. I wish I could, but this video was created over the time of maybe 3 or 4 days. I just don't have time to sit down and do a hardcore video on these if I want to get all the information out to you. And I hope you appreciate that. And if you do, and you're not subscribed and you like that kind of stuff, well, then you might want to hit that subscribe button. Also, this was given to me. I am not paid to do this video. I could just choose not to. I'd be a jerk. Again, this was given to me. I wasn't paid to do a review for this, but I want to. And so I do have a link below because for some of you, I would recommend this light. I think it is good. It's got some cool hidden features that we are going to be talking about soon that most of my other lights, actually all of my other lights, don't even offer. And that is the reason why I'm keeping this. Now, let me awkwardly set this down over here. Let's get through the technical stuff first, and then I'm going to bring you over there at the light once I have it set up again. And then we are going to come back here. I'm going to show you a couple features that I don't show you over there because I know the future, again, done in different segments. But I will tell you one of the features that I figured out late in the game that has changed everything, especially when it comes to sound and lighting. It is big. So Manbily labels this as a video light that is versatile for studio and location photography as well. It is a 200-watt high-power light, which is really good, and has a color rendering index of greater than or equal to 97%. Now, this means how accurate it displays true colors, and being 97% or greater is actually really good. For you and I, it has a TLCI rating of greater or equal to 98%. This is the rating for broadcast television, and those are the colors. And in my case, YouTube world, you want accurate colors. It's just nice to know that the lighting is that accurate for broadcast, so I know it's going to be accurate for my YouTube channel. And that's also important with these one-man shoots. You want to make sure that your lighting is done correctly and the temperature is done well, which goes into my next thing. The temperature range is 3,500 Kelvin to 6,500 Kelvin, and you are covered in all lighting situations. But here's where this fan is perfect in small studio spaces where all sounds matter. It includes an ultra silent fan, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, this thing does include an ultra silent fan, which a lot of these lights do nowadays, but there is a secret, which we're going to touch on in just a little bit. But the cooling with the noise, the output is only 28 dB. And if you really need it to be quiet, all you have to do, get this, watch this right now. This is what I'm talking about. You've got the dim, you've got the color, and all you have to do is just hold these down together, and then it will go silent fan. Now the light does cut pretty much 50%, but you have great clarity when it comes to sound. And I've been using this now for the last few videos because then I don't have to worry about any fan sound, and I've been letting it run for quite a while and it does not overheat. To counter that, it does dim the light. So it doesn't go to that 200 watt power light that you can get at 100%, brings it down to about 50%. But in all fairness, these lights, I'm at 15 or 16%. So what am I doing? 40%, maybe 50%, and you're still getting the power output that you want, and it's a silent, no fan at all. All right, let's go over there and talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna come back here. We're going to do a couple tests with the lighting on me, and this will give you an idea of the features that you can use through the app as well. Now, for all my studio lights that I've used before, this is probably one of the smallest, most compact, and yet pretty quiet as well. And it's got good ventilation on top, which makes this doesn't overheat. I'm just going to tell you. It doesn't overheat like some of those you get. The fan runs nonstop. And the fact that it is bicolor just even makes it that much better. You can change it and have the most precise Kelvin that you need for your camera, for your studio, for your setup. And this one has been my filler light over here onto the side of my face, where then I do have my main key light in front of me. Now, I might have to get another one of these because this thing is a lot more precise in color than I've been using with other third parties. And it gets this is going to be bright. Now this is reflecting off of my OLED TV, the back of it, not the front. I'm not going to ruin it. And obviously gets really bright, but could you hear the fan? You can hear a fan on it, but it also is at a decent amount away from me. And the microphone systems I use, which is the Sennheiser 416, which is right now the MKH 416. And I use then the SM7B, right? I get it backwards. And so those are good mics where you can in post get rid of that background sound so this doesn't show. And when I'm working with clients, this is far enough away. And it gets ridiculously bright here, just so you can actually see me. This is the light off of the windows. Right now it's daylight. But this thing is just so small, so compact. I love it. And I love the connection right here. The DC 48 volt connection is, it almost looks like XLR, or maybe it is like an XLR. So it is a very strong connection that if someone's going by, it's not going to unplug if they bump it. If anything, they're going to knock over the lights. And so you know that you are good there. But this thing is good. And then you put a softbox on it and it just completes it. And there it is. It is the softbox. It is obviously kind of advertising another person right here, but newer. I've used these soft boxes for quite a while. This one is nice because it's like an umbrella and it condenses really quick and easy, and it's super light. But putting a softbox on this light it feels good. It's small, it's compact. If you're in a small space, you're traveling, I have found this light to be one of the better ones, especially again, Matching color is super important when you're doing that in your scenes, because unless you are shooting raw, correcting that in post is always a pain. You can really dial in the colors as well with the app on your phone and get it precise. So when I'm at my desk and I need to change something, I just open up my phone, connect it through the Bluetooth, and I'm able to manipulate this and even turn it off, which is nice. By the way, the brightness I had without the softbox was at 14%, and it is at 14%. This is only 14%. It gets crazy, crazy bright. As I'm cranking this up, I am now at 100% brightness, but it's just so precise. This is way more than enough that I need for the lighting that I'm getting from the side of my face. I could crank this up. I could use this as a key light. It just works. So right now it is off, but let's put it at 50%. And by the way, the fan is off as well, and it doesn't bother me. Okay, we are at 50%. If I go to 100%, that is that. I think that is way too bright. 50% even might be too bright for this angle and this light. But what I want to show you, we'll bring it back to 50%. What I want to bring you in is show you what the Kelvin looks like. So we are at 4,800 Kelvin. My white balance is set to that on my R5 II, which is filming me right now in C-Log 2 fine, 23.98 frames per second. So that gives you an idea. So we're at that. Now let's cool this down and see what that looks like. So I'm going to bring it down to 3,500 Kelvin. And so that actually warms it up quite a bit. So we are, if I wanted this warmth look, which is kind of cool here, let's crank it up now though. To 100%, and it's a warmer look on my face. And you probably can manipulate that to look more like the sun coming through a window if you wanted to. So you do have that warmth. Now let's bring it down to about 70%, and let's bring it to 3,500 Kelvin. So that's 3,500. 3,000 Kelvin is as low as it goes. So actually I was wrong with those numbers. So 3,000 Kelvin, and then 3,500 Kelvin. Let's bring it to 4,000 Kelvin. It's getting cooler. And let's bring it to 4,600 Kelvin. We'll bring it up to 5,000. And let's just crank it all the way to 65. Now, this is really cool in this sense of color. It is a cool color coming through. Now, there are features on here. One is, we're just going to go through them all. So one is this little hazard thing. Yeah, that is exactly, it's kind of like a hazard light that you can manipulate and make people think it's a hazard light coming through. Another one is kind of like a party or a fireworks. So you got fireworks coming through. Now you've got different colors changing at a time. This one is supposed to be like a fire, like a crackling fire. Let's move over to, this one is supposed to be like a flash from a camera. So it's simulating a flash from a camera. And then here's lightning. And then you can have a variance of lightning, which is a couple cracks in there of lightning. Here is a bulb that's kind of dimming and flickering. Now for me, I don't really do that stuff. I just love boring, simple lighting that is just boring, that lights me up. I can tell my story. I can tell you everything. And I honestly love natural light more than anything. And that's why I love being by windows. I love being outside and then using that natural light. But when you can't use natural light, that is where these come in. Now, if you don't have a light already and you're looking for a quiet light, I do highly recommend this light. It is excellent, especially for the price. Less than $140 for that light. You can get a nice softbox for about, $80, $90, and put those together and you've got a nice light. And honestly, most of us can just get away with one light out there. And I do have links below for lighting, specifically this one, and soft boxes. Tell me in the comments below what you've been using. And also, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out these videos over here. You know the drill. They're there. They're to watch. You'll have fun. Check it out.